Internal Revenue Service IRS tax news. Interest rates remain the same for the first quarter of 2022. I called the IRS yesterday, ready to pay more taxes, and a lady from China answered. Apparently, the IRS has just decided to cut out the middleman. I asked why were taxes increasing given the fact that the middleman had been cut out. I would think that would reduce taxes. She said, U.S. tax dollars are vitally important to stop U.S. carbon emissions, stating that the U.S. needs to get their emissions down to net zero pronto. I asked, so are we funding solar or like wind power or something like that? She said, no, we are removing all energy production in the U.S. and building more coal power plants in China, which the U.S. will be dependent upon. But wait, I said, won't that increase global warming? She said, yes, but I never said cutting U.S. carbon emissions had anything to do with global warming. How do you think we were able to cut the middleman out of your tax system in the first place? Honestly, every taxpayer I talk to in your country is dumber than the last one. Now, please make your check out to the Department of U.S. Energy Overlords, unless you would like your lights turned out. Yes, ma'am. IR 2021-234, November 23rd, 2021, Washington. The Internal Revenue Service today announced that interest rates will remain the same for the calendar quarter beginning January 1st, 2022. The rates will be 3% for overpayments, 2% in case of a corporation, 0.5% for the portion of a corporate overpayment exceeding $10,000, 3% for underpayments, and 5% for large corporate underpayments. Under the Internal Revenue Code, the rate of interest is determined on a quarterly basis. For taxpayers other than corporations, the overpayment and underpayment rate is the federal short-term rate plus 3 percentage points. Generally, in the case of a corporation, the underpayment rate is the federal short-term rate plus 3 percentage points, and the overpayment rate is the federal short-term rate plus 2 percentage points. The rate for large corporate underpayments is the federal short-term rate plus 5 percentage points. The rate on the portion of corporate overpayment of tax exceeding $10,000 for a taxable period is the federal short-term rate plus 0.5 of a percentage point. The interest rates announced today are computed from the federal short-term rate determined during October 2021 to take effect November 1st, 2021 based on daily compounding. Revenue Ruling 2021-24, there's a link to that here, announced the rates of interest is attached and will appear in the Internal Revenue Bulletin 2021-50 dated December 13th, 2021. There's a link to the Revenue Ruling 2021-24 here. There'll be a link to this in the description.